Isaac Butterfield, a response to your video, Truth About Vegans. Let me just educate you. I'll start by commending you. Well, it's less of a commendation, more of an observation. You're blessed with having a beautiful beard. Good on you, mate. But you're a dumb cunt. Now, your video was kind of stupid. A lot of baseless facts, a lot of lies, a lot of misdirection, a lot of misunderstanding. It lacks compassion. It lacks sound evidence. You speak in circles. So, for example, you say that vegans are the cyclists of the dietary world. Well, fuck you, mate. Veganism is less about diet. Yeah, it's all about lifestyle. It's less of a discussion about, as an introduction, it's less of a discussion about diet and health, more a discussion about ethics. Yeah? Ethics and equality. So now that we're on the same page, are you keeping up? I'll speak slow for you. You know what makes someone a fuckwit? I'll tell you what. What makes someone fuckwit is when they try to talk upon a topic and they provide no stimulus, nothing real to expand upon. So if I agreed with your video, then what would be my stimulus? It would be the idea that I can attack a group of people because they don't make sense. That's what I'd be going with. So I'd be calling out other vegans and I'd be saying they're this and that fuckwits, they're stupid, this and that. Which makes absolutely no sense. It's incredible. Because, do you know what another movement is that's gained traction over the last few years? It's the Flat Earth movement. And now, facts, truth, and understanding will undoubtedly gain traction. It reaches out to beings who are able to think, make sound associations, and have the ability to be compassionate, to share, to care, to not discriminate, to not lie and abuse. That's what you're doing. Whether it's a satirical video, whether you're just taking the piss, it's what you're doing. But I know you're not taking the piss because, and we'll get to it, you know. Anyways, threats aside, people don't go vegan because of tits, because of all the Instagram followers who have cracking bodies and are plant-based. That's not why people are going vegan. They do it because you're a cunt, and we don't want to be like you. No, I'm kidding. But I will focus on you just for a moment. You aren't enlightening anybody. You aren't providing any science. It's all baseless. You claim Darwinian fallacy. You think our brains developed due to meat consumption. What? And violence against animals? You think that made our brains increase in size? Consciousness on this earth, it changes cyclically. Humans have only been here for a little over 40,000 years. Yet we don't even want to talk about what happened 300 years ago. We forget what happened 500 years ago. We don't want to acknowledge that we had nothing to do with those people, yet we do want to support the findings of the collective, which is controlled by groups of psychopaths. They're psychopaths. People who want to control other people are psychopaths. So you want to support the psychopathic movement whereby depleting and destroying and killing other sentient beings is acceptable, or something that we should continue doing? Sorry, mate, wake the fuck up. You're an idiot. You're wrong. This can't happen. This won't happen. I'll make sure this won't happen because I'm going to call you out for your bullshit. Provide some science, provide some groundbreaking information that would make me feel comfortable telling and showing the truth, such as the act of taking a knife to the throat of an animal and slitting it. Me showing that footage to a young child. Like, compel me, explain how it would be okay for me to tell this individual, the child, that that action, that barbaric action is acceptable and it's okay. No, you know what? You sound like the very brainwashed people who fear ISIS. You sound like you're enabling other people to accepting that ISIS is in existence and is real. They are paid mercenaries by the elite. And this is where the average person would not be able to keep up. This is where they just won't be able to keep up because they think ISIS are rogue Islamic terrorists who are just like fanatics. No. That's not what's happening here. But you're making it sound like that's what is happening, and the only reason you make that sound like that is what's happening is because you don't wish to call out the mainstream media and their agenda-based, fear-based, trauma-based mind control agendas. You don't want to call them out for their lies. You don't want to call them out for creating ISIS. Like, you don't want to call out the government because the government's a corporation. You don't want to call that out. You don't want to talk about truth. You don't want to talk about the shadow government. You don't want to talk about 1984. You don't want to talk about these things. Yeah, you will talk about that which will prevent us from getting to that discussion. You do want to diminish consciousness and deplete it so that we're not expanding our minds, we're not expanding our brains. You want to claim and spout pseudoscience. That's what you're doing. But I won't let you get away with that. I'll call you out for your bullshit. So how about those universities, mate? Professors and educated folk, right? We got told we live on a spinning ball and that we go to space. Have you seen the footage? Where are the stars? The sun and the moon, they're the same size, they're local sources. Do you understand the concept surrounding a vacuum-like space? Do you understand those concepts? Do you understand the universe coming from nothing as in a bang? Do you know Neil deGrasse Tyson, astrophysics? Do you know what he's telling us? The Earth is one shape and size, and then it changed. He just changed it. He just decided to change the whole narrative. You see, these people have been changing the size and the shape of different land masses on Earth for the last 500 years. They've been doing that. They're lying to you. They've got you in a spin, and you're angrily, or I don't know what you're doing, whether it's sparking interest from individuals who can think for themselves and who are not stupid, to making videos in response to you in a very mild manner, then I applaud you, because that's what I'm doing. I'm not one of these crazy people who are just going to start attacking you and the rest of the meat eaters out there baselessly. I will call you a cunt because that's how you're carrying on. You're carrying on like a cunt because you're talking shit, but I'm not going to abuse you or threaten you, right? You've abused and threatened animals. At the end of your video, you said you're gonna eat a piece of steak for every vegan who so-and-so, whatever, gets angry or comments on your posts in an angry manner. Man, that's cunt-like behaviour. Let's move right along. Let's try and wrap this up. You called out Earthling Ed, who makes very, very moral, righteous, and sensical arguments and you've just like pushed all that aside, and you're claiming that he's wrong just because he's calling out truth. That's all you're doing. You acknowledge that he makes points which make us think in a way which gets us to almost admit guilt in a process or an action which is never humane, because there's no such thing as humane slaughter. There's no such thing as humane slaughter. I'm sorry. It doesn't exist. Animals don't want to die. You said that. You said animals don't want to die. So you agreed with Ed as well. So you agree that animals don't want to die. Yet, you will result in the demand for their dead carcasses. So you will result, your actions and your views are resulting in the cruelty, the sacrifice, the death, the murder, which is carried out by humans. You're contributing to chaos and slavery and wickedness in this world, and you're calling out the people who are going to make the difference, who are going to make the change, who are going to stand up for those voiceless beings, who are going to stand up for the lies, who are going to call out the facts, because there's no curvature of Earth. It's never been recorded. The Bedford level experiment, George Airy's parallax experiment. Let's use math. Let's use science. Let's use Pythagorean mathematics. Let's triangulate the distance from the surface of the Earth to the Sun. Realize that it's very local. Let's do that instead of doing what you're doing, which is not gonna do much by way of stimulating positive thought and expression. It's taken me a couple of months to kind of find your content, because I've never followed you before, but it just kind of popped up on one of these feeds. So that was just, I'm not even subscribed to anything on the television, which is where I'm watching your YouTube videos, but it just popped up on one of these feeds just randomly. So I can make a sound depiction. I can take in and gather what you're saying, and I can reiterate your findings in such a way to tell and inform you and anyone watching this video today, tomorrow, whenever you watch this video. It's not okay to discriminate. It's not okay to call people out baselessly. It's not okay to believe in things. Okay? Compel yourself to find the knowledge. Show some compassion. Reach out to people. Even if you're going to get hit with brick walls, even if you're going to find that people are cruel, be the bigger person, be the better person. Humble yourself. Grow from that. Throw your heart out there. Throw your heart out there. Just keep on doing it, because that's how we're going to make a change. That's how we're going to get this world in better shape. That's how we're going to bring down corruption, capitalism, crimes against humanity, crimes against animals. It's the only way. Yeah. What else is there to say? Let's show some people some of the footage that you have here. So, yeah, just before I play this, eco greater than ego. You use a lot of ego. You don't relate that to be a part of a system, a functioning, balanced system. You have to share and not deplete. Yeah? Okay, let me show them.
At the animal rights activist group, PETA, they kill more animals than anyone else.
I don't give a fuck about PETA, by the way. I don't follow them, never have, don't know who they are, fuck them.
To live a life where you do not harm animals. Whether you like it or not,
You reckon?
human beings are
You're an
a
idiot.
part of the ecosystem.
That's true.
We're the king of the jungle, and I'm happy to stay there.
Oh, that's just your ego. King of what jungle? King? Thrones? Fuck that. Humble yourself. Be grounded.
There is one angry vegan YouTuber
Take your shoes
that
off.
I'd like to introduce you to.
Ground
His
yourself on the
name's
soil.
Earthling Ed, and he recently released a video
Breathe.
of him arguing with an angry farmer.
Tell you what, how will you kill a cow?
Stop killing animals.
How will you kill a cow? You're a natural meat eater. How do you kill a cow? You're a natural meat eater. You don't need to use weapons. Lions don't use weapons, do they? Exactly, but they're natural meat eaters. But if as a natural meat eater, yeah, exactly. But as a natural meat eater, you shouldn't need to use guns or knives because you can kill the animals yourself naturally.
Okay, Ed, you've lost me already. Because unlike a lion, I cannot kill a cow with my mouth. I'd have to use a weapon. But you know what, Ed? I could absolutely.
And if you want to use weapons, then you're a cunt.
And I might just.
Why would you want to use a weapon?
What about those little otters that use rocks to open up oysters and eat their meat? Are they not natural meat eaters?
Eater? You're not the ultimate. You take a lion on. Fight a lion. Who's the ultimate predator?
You won't do it, you pussy. Fight a lion. Go on, fight a lion. You won't do it. What a fucking stupid argument.
No, but you can
Put down your guns.
Yes, but you are not a natural meat eater. The word natural means nature.
Okay, sure. Good point. Because guns aren't natural, are they? Well, they're made out of metal, which is derived from rocks, which comes from the ground, which is nature, which is natural.
But you don't have to eat both. But you don't have to. But you don't have to. I can...
Do you know what else is natural? Me calling you a cunt and then threatening you and saying that I'd shoot you with a gun. That's not what I'd do. I don't promote violence. I don't promote stupidity. So, natural processes occur within symbiotic, structured, and coherent systems. The world that we live in is not that. So stop promoting and propagating the corruption, you fucking idiot. Let me continue this.
I can eat a dog. I can beat up a child.
You could beat up a child?
He's making a valid point here. He doesn't discriminate. You discriminate by eating, if you're a meat eater, of course. You're going to discriminate because you choose to eat one source of animal protein over another. Like, why aren't you eating dog meat? Have you tried it? Do you know how good it tastes?
Ed, you were doing so well. You really need to calm down, my man bun wearing friend. This is the thing with veganism. It is a cult mentality, and they will say anything and do anything to defend their ideologies.
Yeah, okay, so how do you morally justify killing an animal that doesn't want to die? But no animal wants to die.
How do you know the animal doesn't want to die? Well, of course it doesn't want to die. Dickhead.
Thank you, Isaac.
Motherfucker.
You've got Nando's have vegan burgers. GBK's got vegan burgers.
They still sell meat.
Yes, but they didn't used to have vegan burgers. They do now because the world is changing.
They have vegan burgers because of capitalism, not because they love animals. They know people like you exist, cultivated in this social media echo chamber that vegans live in. They don't give a fuck about animals.
Sorry about that. Content is controlled. And it will be illegal to factory farm. It will be against our day-to-day moral compass to engage in an activity where we'll be depleting consciousness and feeding on the dead carcass. It won't happen. It's not going to happen. 10, 15 years from now, it's not going to be happening, I guarantee you that. So, because of videos that you're creating like this, and videos I'm creating like this is why it's not going to happen. Let me continue.
They give a fuck about products, and if they can sell vegan whatever to you, then they're going to do it. Cockhead?
And no animal wants to die. No, but can you?
Can you speak to animals? Nah, but you can't do it either. Fuck this video. Ed makes some realistic points later on in the video, mainly about factory farming, which I absolutely agree with him on. Factory farming is perhaps the worst and best invention of humankind.
Can't be the worst and
the
best, mate.
because it keeps us well fed, but the worst
Nope.
because it
It's only keeping you well fed because that's the food that you're demanding to eat. Yeah?
animals in the most horrendous and horrific conditions you can possibly imagine. I'm not really sure how you fix factory farming, but it's certainly something we need to look at. If you've got an idea of how to fix it, let me know in the comments below. As I said, I'm not angry at people who choose not to eat animal products. It's the vegans that treat meat eaters as lesser people because they refuse to subscribe to their cult ideologies.
So the audience that you're targeting there is whoever, right? Now, the collective will always kind of override what minorities or organized minorities think, act, and do upon. See, the way it works is we won't allow the kind of action of every being on this plane to vibrate out of control, and we do that because of the measures that we have in place today, the technology and the tools of mind control, and of course authority. So we are the people, we the people consent and subscribe to that system of operation. Now, I'm not talking about anarchy here. I'm not talking about me representing one group or another. I represent the collective. I am the people. I am the government. So let me just tell you right here. Let me tell you straight. You are here to make a change. Compel yourself. Take in the information and do your own science. Do you understand? Because if you don't, then you're being lazy. You're not thinking.
Extremist vegans are not winning any fans, and they're not helping veganism in general. In fact, it's just making people not like you more. Now, I know I'm going to get a lot of hate for this video, and that's okay, but for every single angry face emoji, every single hateful comment, and every single death threat that I get sent, I will eat one rump steak while I think of you.
And that's what makes you a cunt. Stop killing. Stop contributing to the killing of innocent beings. You cunt. Peace.